Okay. Didn't say that comment, did you?
No, I didn't.
Hello everybody, it is me, Darcy, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Unnamed Podcast, the podcast where I sit here with Kris for a time, and we talk rubbish for a time, and pretty much anything else that comes to my mind. I'm Darcy, that is Kris. You can tell us apart.
It's not difficult.
Because you like to look at me, and if you feel you need to avert your eyes, it's Kris. Hey. Let us continue, as we often do, by jumping straight into some fucking channel news.
Yes.
Mint. Kris, what's been happening with the channel this week?
Well, on Monday, we released our first, well, you released it. Not the first. Minecraft.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Second Minecraft. The second Minecraft came out.
Yep, the second Minecraft has come out.
A few shorts with that as well.
Quite a few shorts. They will still be coming out on the day this podcast is. Maybe on the day this podcast. I can't remember. I also actually have to make shorts from the video that came out today. But
yes,
we'll wait until we talk about that, and then I'll talk about the issues I have with shorts. But anyway, all that aside, the second episode of Minecraft came out. That was a very good one. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
messed around with my stuff a lot. Yeah.
And from the shorts, people seem to have liked it as well. Quite a few of the shorts.
Yeah.
They haven't really translated to views of the actual video, which is a little bit of a shame. But
yeah,
all the shorts are pretty up there with numbers, and it kind of depends.
Didn't actually look at the numbers for that one.
On the YouTube algorithms.
Did notice pretty much everything had at least a like on it.
But the old YouTube algorithms sometimes help us out, sometimes don't help us out. Sometimes they put our videos up there in the public. This is all coming from analytical views, and then a lot of the other times it's no.
Yeah, sounds right.
It'd be what it be. But yeah, so that's what's happened on Monday. The Minecraft came out, which is good because the next episode of Minecraft I'm going to start editing probably sometime over the coming few days. Because that's how that rolls.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was just a classic Minecraft. We talk about Minecraft enough. Last week we were talking about it. Why I was so excited for it to come out. It's come out. It's actually doing pretty well in terms of a video that is one of ours. They're always a mixed bag, and one of the craziest things is I think on more than one occasion we've had a video that after a month or so of being out actually starts to get quite a few views to it.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a few of them.
So who knows, but hopefully that one does pay off because that was really fun to film, and we are having a lot of fun playing Minecraft.
Yes.
And there's, as I said, there's a bunch of shorts coming out, and people are watching the shorts and seem to be enjoying it. So, there's been a few comments on shorts, which is
I haven't actually noticed any of those yet.
Yeah,
I'll have to go through and have a look.
One of them is literally just word for word what happens in the video.
That's a common comment though.
The punchline of the video of the short, which I was like, thumbs up for you, sir.
Yes.
You watched. You didn't just scroll through the short and be like, "What's happening here?" You actually watched it because, I feel like that's kind of the thing with a lot of these kind of views and stuff. It's people just scroll and go, "Oh, this hasn't done anything in the first second and a half to grab my attention." It's
True.
You sure attention, motherfucker.
Look, I scrolled to the video on one of the shorts today, and I was like, sounds familiar somehow. Oh, it's Darcy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's Jesus Christ, the world we live in. This is a sad state for the world we live in.
Oh yeah, but it's quite common. At least if you get the comment of someone just commenting the punchline.
Yeah.
Other than it just it's been watched properly.
Yeah.
It was a good punchline.
Oh yeah. So the shorts have come out. There'll probably be some. As I said, I do want to make some shorts from the video that came out today on Wednesday.
Yes.
Which was, Kris?
Satisfactory.
Yes, the first of the Satisfactories. So after many attempts, we finally got it working. It was a long, hard fought battle, but we finally did it. Turns out I was right. I'm a genius. And so
not admitting to that.
Yeah, the first of
Sorry, agree.
Well, you've already agreed to it by saying admitting that you're not going to admit to it, which is it's just confirmation bias, but it's confirmation.
I said the wrong word.
Doesn't matter what
that
you
was
said.
My bad.
You said the exact word you meant to say. It was just
no.
That's not the word you wanted to say.
No, that's not it.
Yeah. So Satisfactory came out.
Was this the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it was the second one, Kris. I put them out in reverse order.
No, I just couldn't remember which one it was. Whether you put one.
Crazy thing is, we're actually starting at the end of that game and working backwards.
I know, it's a weird thing. We are demolishing everything.
No, but yeah, so that one's again, it's sort of like Minecraft, except less loopy for me because instead of
very true. Actually,
instead of fucking your life up, I go exploring.
Yes,
which I could technically do in Minecraft. I just get lost.
Oh, it's so easy to get lost in Minecraft. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Satisfactory is arguably harder to get lost. One, because of the little bar up the top to tell you where the home base is. But outside of that, it's not difficult.
Thank you for that, Kris, you bloody legend.
What?
God, I hate you.
What?
Also that video is called Because I Can, and it started off like it was the first one that came out, and like in the first 2 days it had like 10 views, and then like I think someone actually watched it. I was like, oh shit, okay, I get this now, because like it starts off with me being like I don't know if this is something or something else, and then you say something, and then I just go on like my whole standard rant against you.
Oh yeah,
and then it ends with me just going, I fucking hate you. But that's pretty standard for us. So I hope to make some shorts out of the Satisfactory. I just really dislike the way that you do shorts, where it's like you actually have to edit them from your phone and shit. It's like, motherfucker, I don't have thousands of dollars worth of computers and like equipment for no reason. No. Use your phone. It's fucking No, it's shit.
Yeah. I imagine it would
be what I really love to work on when I have fucking 3 screens over the size of frickin' 24 inches is to work on something this size. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. I love it. I fucking love it. I was going to turn it off earlier, but then I was watching a video, so I didn't.
Obviously. It makes sense.
I need my sound. Yeah, so the Satisfactory's coming out. That's part 1 of a 2-parter. I'm not actually sure how we'll do Satisfactory from this point forwards. It'll probably just be 1 part at a time.
Yeah.
But in that first kind of part, we were kind of getting to grips with where we were, and so we went a bit long. But that's up and running.
Which is probably bound to happen, unless we do what we do in Bodyman and just set a timer.
It's not that. It won't be that bad at this point from like going forwards, because like part of the reason that I felt that we could keep pushing on was just how slow everything is in the start. But once you start to speed up, like things will start happening a lot faster, so we'll be able to do more per episode.
Yeah, because we have sort of started production or some production.
But it's. I actually have to check the videos because I can't remember which is the one where I'm walking around and I tell you this is the sound I make if I run into a monster. But
you wouldn't say it again.
But I do want to make a short of that.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if that's in the first part or the second part, but it's in a part, and
I can't even remember the sound.
It's just a scream.
I know it's a scream. I just can't remember what it sounded like.
It's just me screaming. But yeah, that's kind of where we are there wise. I recently cleaned up all of the films, and we're at the point in life where we need to start filming again. Not that we ever stop filming, but like
Yeah, we need to actually.
Like, I'm probably like 2 edits, maybe 3 edits away from like taking out our entire backlog of footage, and
Okay.
like, considering that sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. You know, it's all relatively dependent, isn't it, Kris?
It really is.
Because it's like there are some games that I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that together, for obvious reasons. I don't like spending time with Kris. But no, no. Sometimes there is just some games that are better to film individually, because Kris does things like leave his speakers on.
Yeah, sometimes I forget about that.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Like just then.
Fixed.
But yeah, no, so we'll probably be filming some more stuff. I'm thinking maybe some Helldivers, maybe some Mario Kart, because last time we filmed Mario Kart, my Elgato had a little bit of a temper tantrum.
Oh, that's right, the usual thing that happens.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, you remember how you made this footage? Fuck you, that's why. And I was like, oh no.
Fuck you, I split it in half and put one side on the other side. Oh, fuck you.
Which, as I, like, you know what, some days I'm sitting there and I'm like, yep, this is perfectly fine.
One day we should just release that.
Well, yeah.
Just to see what happens.
Just like one day we should release the Hitman that is only audio.
Oh, yeah.
Because the game didn't start, so it's just us bitching about Hitman for like half an hour.
That was the original one we did, wasn't it?
No, the original one's lost. This is one where we were going to play it one day, and it just wasn't working. So because I pressed record and we just sat there bitching, I didn't stop I didn't stop the recording. So it's just a black screen, and it's just talking over.
Hey, let's release it as a podcast.
And then of course I looked at the Christmas footage.
Yes, finally.
Yeah. Oh, I've noticed there. I just kind of looked at it.
No, I know you've noticed that.
Like,
you
how
finally
much
looked at it.
I was like, how much? I kind of looked at it and went, how hard is this edit going to be? Because I'm like, I don't recall what needs to be in this. And like, there is literally one point where very drunk Darcy is just like right up in the camera's face and being like, I think I'm threatening people, but I'm not.
We did that a few times that day though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing.
But yeah, so probably get some shooters, a little bit of Mario Kart. Might do the Mario Kart tonight. Not that like we need to, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like we could actually do a Mario Kart where we each have our own screen and just race and do it all online.
We could.
But I don't really want to do that just yet for one reason and one reason only.
Yeah. Which is?
That would make my life editing a lot harder.
Yeah, because you just have to put them together.
Well, no, not even. No, I'd have to do what I do with all the videos where I have both your side of the footage and my side of the footage, and actually I can watch through and be like, what's happening here? That's exciting. What's happening here? Whereas usually I'm just like, this is the race. I'm like, if anything good happened, it's been seen.
True.
But yeah, no, like there's a lot I want to do, but again, the practicality of it all is the real side of it. And it's like
true.
When I can't,
until you've got more time to actually
when I can't like justify spending 3 hours to make a 45-30 minute video because 3 hours is like it's like I gotta do other stuff as well, and and the video's gonna come out and it's probably not gonna get many views and all this kind of shit. The caper. But yeah, so like one day hopefully we'll get there.
Eventually.
Yes. And then, other than that, like maybe some more Helldivers. Payday.
It's fun.
We should probably start with like the Halo or or continue on with the Gears of War. Do one of those games.
Yeah, that would be smart.
Chris's Xbox initiation. Other things like I'm thinking of starting to film some of the Halloween stuff now.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why we can't film some of the Halloween stuff now.
Yeah, I suppose we just wait to release it until then.
It would give me a long time to edit it.
Yeah.
And considering that, like, some of the stuff is like...
We just get to see if it happens, because last year we said the similar thing. A little bit later than it is now, but...
We did do it. We did get all, like, the Halloween stuff done.
Yeah, but the plan was to do it, like, more than... give us more time.
Yeah, I gave myself a whole extra week.
The plan was to give us, like, an extra month.
No, the plan was to give us about 2 weeks to get it all done. We ended up getting about 1 week.
Yeah.
Unlike
the first time where it was a couple of days.
Well, to be fair, in that first one, there was actually an issue that occurred.
Oh, yeah, we had to re-record.
Yeah. Because that was back in the old days when I wasn't as practiced as I am now, and I didn't have good software to do everything.
True.
So I spent a fuck ton of time fixing things up.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, like back in our first Halloween, we had been a channel for about 2 weeks at that point, and I went, "Let's fucking do this."
Yeah.
A week of just putting out videos without any forethought.
That was rough on you.
That was rough on me. Probably some of the worst videos we've ever done.
Because they were so rushed, yeah.
But not only were they rushed, but it was also like...
And we had the fear turkey in a few of them.
The biggest thing would be, like, we could easily go back and redo all of that now.
True.
And it would, in terms of everything, it would just be better.
Yeah. It would, yeah.
In terms of everything, it would just be better. Because, you know, like, yeah, back then it was like, this and that, and trying to get this to work, and trying to get that to work, and everything's not working together. And now it's just like, I press a button and things just fucking work. Because I've done something called preparation. As I say to all my kids, preparation is good.
Preparation?
Preparation.
Okay.
Preparation is the best. And if you don't preparate, you will die.
Oh, that makes sense.
You will get chlamydia and you will die.
Whoa, okay. That's it. I don't know where that one came from.
Mean Girls.
Oh, shit, yeah. Forgot about that. Haven't seen that in quite a long time.
It is... Yeah. Yeah, it was a good movie back in the day. And you know what? It was one of those movies that kind of defined a generation.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Everyone, like, back when we were in high school and then when I went to university, you could make a Mean Girls reference and anyone your age group would be like, got it. Mean Girls. Whereas then as the younger kids start to come through and more like you make that thing, they're like, what is that? And you're like, Mean Girls. Come on, get your head out. It's like, guys.
Yeah.
We wear pink. But that was like another thing that like I was not expecting about college was that well, you ever seen 6 guys in a room watching Gossip Girl? No. And when like 4 of those guys are like rugby players and like, this is a really good show, and you're like, apparently so.
No, I would definitely not expect.
We're all fucking here watching it.
That would be a weird thing of walking past that door being like, do I join or walk away?
You know what you do? You fucking join.
Yeah.
Because if you don't join...
You're making it weird.
Yeah, you are. You're like, what are you guys doing watching Gossip Girl? You're like, and like, what, you too good for Gossip Girl? And it's like,
oh, fuck, now they've said that. Gotta sit down.
Now I've got to watch it, because otherwise you're going to think I'm a pretentious dickhead. Then you watch it and you're like, okay, boys, it's in same time tomorrow. Fuck yeah, got 2 episodes to get through. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. But there was a lot of things like that.
Yeah,
like,
of course there is.
We'll wrap up some channel news, but then I guess I'll tell some stories from college.
Yeah.
We'll see what's on Chris's mind. Probably nothing. And yeah, we'll see how much of the podcast we have left, and we'll play it by ear. Eh?
What we tend to do.
So, to wrap up the rest of
Channel
news. I don't know what things are called. Unfortunately, this has been the first week where we've actually lost subscribers.
Yes.
This week we have lost 2, so we are back down to 85. But over the overall long haul, I think we're still technically at the same growth we've been
Roughly about. Like, we've lost before, but generally we've gained immediately after, so it wasn't...
But, like, my process here is, like, for the last couple of months, let's call it the last 2 months, we've been growing it at an average of 2 subscribers a week. Then 1 week we had a really big growth and got, like, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then we lost 2 of those. So... overall, we're still
above.
We're actually still above where we would be if we just had steady growth.
Yep.
Hopefully that keeps going up in a steady pace, but who really knows when it comes to YouTube. Sometimes you can think you're doing everything really well with no dividends, and sometimes you think you've put out something that's not that great, and you end up with a bunch of extra subscribers. It's crazy. It's a crazy world.
That's it.
But yeah, no, me and Kris are going to have some more stuff. One of the few trends that I actually do notice about people viewing our stuff is that they really like things where we can work, where we're supposed to work as a team, but because we don't work as a team. You know I'm a thinly veiled rage machine.
I'm aware.
And they also like things where we're directly working against each other. They like things where we work really well together, yet I'm also incredibly mean to you about working well together.
Yep.
Yeah. So like kind of like I've always known, it's a lot. Videos are a lot better when you actually have someone to bounce off.
Oh, of course they are.
You know, which is why I try and do some solo stuff, but you know, I always know there's going to be diminishing returns there.
Yeah. See, there's some...
To be fair though, like solo stuff takes me like fuck all time because I can just sit down and don't have to plan things out with someone else.
True.
It is nice. But speaking of solo stuff,
that was a big one.
Probably finishing Spyro 2 in another 2 videos, possibly 3. Yeah, so like in terms of Spyro, I'm almost finished the second game.
Yeah.
As I said, about 2 to 3 more videos.
Okay.
So probably 2 full length and 1 mini length one to 100 and whatever % in that game.
Yep.
Then Red Dead Redemption, there is another episode filmed. I'm not actually sure how Red Dead Redemption is going to go from this point forwards. Because what the fuck?
Ad blocker.
Ad blocker.
That's what that page is.
Enough of your shit.
Weird.
I don't need it. So then Red Dead Redemption. So I filmed another episode. I think I did like 2 missions in it.
Okay.
But, you know, being Red Dead Redemption, I also do things like make sure I'm wearing the right outfit, go and spend a fucking massive amount of money on a gun to make it pretty, and then realize I don't have enough to finish making it pretty, so I have a sort of finished gun right now.
Did you make it pink?
No.
Just making sure, because every other gun I've seen from you is pink.
That's my GTA gun collar, okay?
I'm aware.
You got a problem with that?
No, I'm just
I do.
wondering whether it was carrying across.
No.
They're both Rockstar games.
No. The gun customization in Red Dead Redemption 2 is way more advanced. It's like, oh, what color would you like this part of the gun? It's like that. And you're like, oh, that cost me $6. Jesus Christ. I was sitting there going, so I started with $120 and oh no. After those 2 things, I'm now down to $40 and this isn't going to be good for me.
No.
And so I have not finished my gun yet, and that's...
It's something.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. Now I gotta go rob people so I can get more money, or do missions and get more. Or just gotta get more money. I gotta get more money. That's the key.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, and I named my horse Kris.
It's gonna die.
With a K.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna die.
Like it's just gonna fucking do what I say. Huh. Classic.
And when that episode shows up, I hope you make a short about it when it dies.
Why, man? I'm great. I'm great. Oh, yeah. I get attacked by some wild animals and die a couple times. Because I forgot that wild animals are fucking terrifying in that game.
I forgot. Yeah, I've just remembered that GTA has it in the single player.
It does.
Yeah.
For some reason, they took all animals out of the multiplayer except when you do the drugs.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
And then you become an animal. And that's just crazy.
It's true.
Although, I wonder when that will come back. Because it usually comes back like once every now and then.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up challenges.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about like other things that I could do solo, and I'm just like, I don't really know. Like maybe some like Rainbow Six Siege, but I'm like at the same time I'm also like, oh, I prefer to do Rainbow Six Siege with Kris. That way I have someone who's worse than me.
Yeah.
But again,
That's fair.
like there's another thing that me and Kris do, which is that Kris doesn't always record his footage.
There's a few.
Sometimes things are too. Kris plays a lot of his computer games on a laptop, which means heat is a massive issue for him because he doesn't have a nice big tower to let it all just cool out.
Yeah.
Or that sweet water cooled radiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It'd be nice to have something. I'll look into it eventually. Obviously, can't do it right now, but that is somewhere to go. Then there's the issues that we have where, like the other night, the Elgato just didn't want to work.
I maintain that was your fault, but
I've done everything I've done in the past to get it to work, and it just wouldn't.
Look, truth be told, at the end of the day, I was like, I don't even know if this is going to be usable footage, so I wasn't too concerned about it.
Fair.
We did get some pretty good stuff, so I don't know what will come of that. Maybe like a short half-hour video, maybe. Because there was some usable stuff.
Maybe a few shorts.
There was some unusable stuff. The whole helicopter chase is brilliant. I love that. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But I'm not 100% sure what else is going... what else is usable. Like, because we were just... I just kind of went, let's just fuck around for a bit in GTA and see what happens, and I'll just film it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we had fun, but there's a few points where nothing was
really happening.
Nothing was happening,
Yeah. What else? Yeah, that kind of wraps up pretty much everything. But there's a few things where it's like, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we'll just quickly film this, and like one of us will film it, or there's more times where it's like, oh, I'll just try and do a solo here. But a lot of the time, I don't really. It's kind of crazy because it's like the whole reason of doing solos is so that we can increase our footage without having to be both there. But now that we've got this sort of mentality of, well, we don't have to be in the same room to play a lot of the games we're playing. But it's not a mentality, it's just a lot easier now.
We to be honest, we should have started doing that earlier.
Yeah, we probably should have, but with some of the games,
For some of the games, it's better when we're both here. Yeah. But there's other games where it's...
Mario Kart, for one.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be really hard for you to race if you could not see the screen.
I know, it's so weird.
No, but, like, yeah, there's a few games which is, like, we play in the same room, and I'm like, oh, we shouldn't have played this in the same room. It would just be better if we weren't in the same room. Like, the Raft, I think the Raft is going to switch to one of those ones where I try not to do it when we're in the same room and try and get the most out of the film. We
haven't started that, have we? I thought the last time we recorded was...
No, I'm pretty sure because of your fuck up, I've never actually let you record the Raft without being in the room with me.
I honestly thought
because of the day that you didn't put it on to record, or the day that you didn't add. You've made a lot of mistakes with the Raft. You've made a lot of mistakes. There was the day you forgot to put game audio in. That was a big one.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was the day you didn't turn off your speakers. That was a big one. There was the day you just didn't press record. Another big one.
No, that day I did hit record, and what the hell happened there, though?
Yeah, it was the computer's fault.
It's not uncommon.
But yeah, so there's a few games, like the one that you're thinking of is actually Minecraft.
Yeah, I know we've done Minecraft. I'm aware of that one.
We've done most of the Minecrafts individually, away from each other.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but we've never done the Raft. But yeah, there's a few videos that's like, moving forwards, they'll be like because it's just a lot easier to kind of plan this stuff out. There'll be more videos that we film solo, together solo.
Yeah.
And the videos that we film, together, like in the same room, will have a purpose for being filmed together. Like, we want the camera work, or we're playing on the single console or whatever. But there'll be purposes for us to. So really trying to make the most of the time we have together to do the things that we can't do apart. Whereas a lot of the games we can do apart, and it's actually better because it makes me a lot cooler. I don't like playing Helldivers when my computer's running hot and your computer's running hot, and I'm sitting here being like, I'm sweaty.
Fair. That is one.
I do love the fact that, like, playing Helldivers, my computer is like, yes, I'm recording. Yes, I'm playing the game. Yes, I'm slightly hot, and your computer's like. It's like, Kris, what are you doing? I'm just waiting for the loading screen to stop. It's like, okay, because your computer's having a spaz.
No, it's because Helldivers, when you actually look at it's recommended, it's like, there's some things, there's a couple of areas where my laptop outdoes the recommended, but there's a lot where it's right on the recommended.
It also doesn't help, as I said, the whole cooling systems, because that's really the biggest thing a lot of these things will do. But the other side of it is that, as long as it can play, considering it can be played on a PlayStation 5, our systems shouldn't have any issues with it.
Yeah, no,
but then again, it kind of depends on what it was optimized for.
True.
But there's that. So we'll be looking at how we can maximize time together and time apart in terms of filming to keep filming production up. The only real downside to when Kris isn't here filming is that I then have to go to his place of residence to pick up footage.
Yes.
Because he sucks.
Or I drop it here next time I'm here.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Kind of depends on how fast I need the footage, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's an odd situation. It's either I'm starting work, you're asleep.
There is nothing odd about that situation.
No, but it's like, so I can't drop it off to you before work. Well, I can, but I'd be waking up. Assuming you don't want that.
You just put it in the mailbox.
I don't really want to leave my hard drive in the mailbox.
Or you could just knock on the door and someone will open it and you'll be like, here, can you just put this on Darcy's desk? And he'll know what it is.
I suppose, that could be done.
Then I'll come down in the morning and be like, why is there a bomb on my desk?
Done.
That's weird.
Kris,
do you leave a bomb?
It's like when I finish work, you're at work. So it makes it tougher there. Again, I could do the same thing.
Yeah, you could easily drop it off on your way to work and then pick it up on your way home from work.
True.
It's like most things. Technically speaking, if you just knocked on the door, my parents would be like, oh yeah, what do you need? And you'd be like, I just need to take something from here. And you could take practically anything, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. And I'd come back and be like, why has Kris stolen half of my belongings?
Turns out, guys, I have a new PC.
No, but so that's kind of something. And as I said, the other thing to this thought process is that we can actually increase our productivity because there are days that we can film apart. Like if we're not together, we can probably film like 4 things pretty quickly. Yeah. Because when we're apart, very task orientated. When we're together, very procrastination orientated.
Yes.
Like
you get distracted easily. It's unfortunate.
Business. Anyway, so that I guess that sums up channel news. It's been a bit of a disappointing week in terms of the
subscriber
numbers.
Yeah.
That one hit me hard. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but it doesn't have anything to do with the subscribers.
No, it was more the excitement you had for it going as fast as it was.
Yeah, a bit of that.
It became a little bit disappointing when you saw a couple go.
Yeah, I'll say that. Like that was it. Like, you know, like in the world of YouTube, subscribers come and go. You know, like in all honesty, like all things considered, this is the first time we've actually had a backwards week where we've gone less than we've had the week before, and that's, you know, that's actually pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, you know. So, but yeah, I kind of got up and saw that and was like, oh man, that's such a disappointment. I had such high hopes. But hey, you know, it happens. Yeah. So moving on. Right. University stories.
Okay.
Yeah. So so background. I know I talk about university all the time. It was my formative years as an adult.
Yes.
Not my formative years becoming an adult. That was spent here. But like, I really, what's the term? I pretty much spent from the age of 8, just over 8. I think it was. Oh yeah, I wasn't 19 when I moved to Sydney.
Yeah.
But I spent like from like being a mid 18-year-old to like a 23, 24-year-old.
Yeah.
Living in Sydney. So I spent a lot of my time there, and like that's something that I often have to kind of explain to people here, because people are like, you don't do anything fun. I'm like, no, trust me. I've done things that would literally break your brain. It's just I did all that when I lived in Sydney. Well, like, you know, sprinting through the city in the middle of the night and stealing skateboards and all that kind of shit, and just having, like, being an absolute menace. I did all that, but I did that in Sydney where the results weren't always so bad for me. Like, I was talking to Millsy. Millsy's our friend of ours. I was talking to Millsy one day and said, these boys need to be careful, because if they get kicked out of this pub and told they're not allowed to come back, there's literally like 2 other pubs they can go to. Whereas like in Sydney, I get kicked out of a pub nearly every other night. But you just move on to the next one. And then the next week you're back at the pub you got kicked out of, and they're like, I can't remember you. Yeah. Whereas like here it's like literally you not allowed here anymore. I was like, no, but this is one of the only 2 pubs that's open this time of night.
True.
So anyway, I you know, like, that's where I spent my crazy years. And I'd spent it living in pretty much a giant fraternity. So anyway, yeah, the Gossip Girl story. Like, so we'd watch TV shows together. We'd all get together and watch TV shows. Yeah. Usually we would do it with like airing things. Like we used to watch Breaking Bad as it was coming out.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was one they watched. I didn't. I was never interested in Game of Thrones.
That's fair.
But then occasionally we would get together and just watch old shows like Gossip Girl and what was the other ones we watched? Well, How I Met Your Mother, obviously. Me and Nick would get together like once a semester and literally spend like a week watching all of the How I Met Your Mothers. People were like, have you guys been to class today? No, we're watching How I Met Your Mother. Shouldn't you guys go to class? No, we're watching How I Met Your Mother. And then we'd do things like play video games together all the time. Like, we had like this long-standing thing where I was like, can't remember who started it, but they were like, you can't go back to work after lunch because that will upset your digestion. Now, I'm fairly sure that was an engineer, not a med student who said that, but, you know, smart enough.
Close enough.
So every day after lunch, we'd play like 3 games of NBA, because I had to play Nick, then Nick had to play Dookie, then I had to play Dookie, and then someone else would come in and be like, can I play? And I'd be like, oh, maybe. But, you know, me and Nick had to play, Dookie and Nick had to play, me and Dookie had to play, so we all played each other.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so, you know, we had to play the games, because you don't want to not play. Like, what happens if I didn't beat Dookie that day? Well, that's a bad day for me. So anyway,
Sounds like Dookie wasn't good at it.
I love the kid. I really do. But he once came in while me and Nick were playing NBA against each other. I was in my room on my console, Nick was on his room in his console, and we were both playing NBA. And he's like, can I play? Oh, you're playing NBA. It's like, can you just quit this game? I'm like, nah, man, it's an important game for me. He's like, oh, well, Nick's playing NBA too. I was playing Nick. We were playing online against each other. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, one of us is going to finish soon. He's like, yeah, wouldn't it just be great, though, if, like, you could play NBA on your console and Nick could play NBA on his console and you could, like, play against each other? And I'm like, well, that's a brilliant idea.
It really is.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's gold. And I'm like, you should go tell Nick. And he's like, yeah, I think I will. And he goes tell Nick, and I hear Nick go, my God. Because me and Nick live next door to each other. And then Nick's like, you should go tell Harry. Harry was our other friend who we played Destiny with all the time. Yeah, he was 3 floors down. And he's like, yeah, I think I will. Because he knew Harry played Xbox. And the second he walks out of Nick's room, I just yell. And we just start pissing ourselves. Then Duke comes back and is like, yeah, Harry thought it was a great idea as well. I'm like, man, you are onto something.
Yes,
here.
he is.
He's like, you guys finished playing yet? We're like, oh, yeah, no, but we started another game. He's like, so did Nick. I'm like, oh, man, that's crazy. Anyway, I love the guy to bits. But yeah, so that was like college. And
what was he studying again?
Finance.
Oh, God.
And he's very good at it.
No.
No, I'm not kidding. He's very good at it. He got like straight out of uni. He got like $100K a year job with a $60,000 signing bonus. He was very good at it, but this wasn't his area of expertise at all.
Oh,
but
man.
we just had the best laugh that day, and we never let him live it down.
No,
you could have told me that it's what you were doing. We're like,
you've got to understand why we didn't.
Dookie, you've seen us play with each other before. Anyway, because we'd play like GTA and like Battlefield, but like so what we'd do is like but if someone was doing something and it was a slow day, you could almost be guaranteed there'd be 5 or 6 dudes in your room watching you do something, especially if you like when we got the new Xboxes and they were the hottest shit around, and we're sitting there playing and guys are like, is that the new Xbox? And it's like, yeah. And they're like, you playing Destiny? It's like, yeah. And they're like, can we watch? Yeah.
Get in now.
And then there was the day that I had
So we've done that here too.
Yeah.
Except the difference is we're not in the same building. We have to go to someone else's house.
And then there was the day that I had my 360 and my Xbox One up, and the guys were like, "Oh, can we like play FIFA on your console?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And they're like, "Oh, sweet." And I was like, "Oh, but we've only got 2 Xbox One controllers." I'm like, "If Nick's willing to let you borrow his, but we've only got 2, so you won't all be able to play." And they're like, "Oh," and I was like, "Though I can set up the Xbox 360 and you can play 2 different games and just have a little mini tournament." And that was the day that we actually found out how much, because you know how when you get a new console you're like, yeah, it looks better, but is it really that much better? Well, having FIFA 14 on both consoles playing next to each other, you went, oh yep, the Xbox One is much better.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Like, oh god, that's so much better.
Well, see, it becomes a thing of after a while of just playing on the new console, you jump back to the old one. You're like, oh god, what is this?
Oh, see, I don't even really have that problem though. Like,
see, I've had it with a few games where I've just gone back and whoa.
Like, I have to jump back pretty far, but like there are some games where I'm like, especially like the later era, like if it was a late release, you go like, oh, I can't. Like, is there really that much of a difference? But yeah, seeing them next to each other, whew, night and day.
No, yeah, 100%.
Anyway, yeah, so like that's the kind of stuff we do. So I remember like playing Battlefield and like having Santucci, he was another guy from college, on the iPad running between mine and Nick's room because we were playing on our consoles and he was being the general, so he was like commanding the battle from like the iPad, because that was something they did in Battlefield 4. You got that extra thing for the Xbox, for the Xbox One game and the PlayStation 4 game. But like he'd run into Nick's room and be like, "Here, Nick, here's your support." Then he'd run in and be like, "Darcy, what do you need? Do you need this?" He's like running between our rooms. We were like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" It's like, "Oh, we're playing a video game together, and Santucci's helping us." He's like, "Don't worry, boys. You guys need a cruise missile? I got a cruise missile." Like we got other people on the team being like, "General, fucking help us." It's like, no, stop, I need to help my boys.
Screw you guys. Leave.
But yeah, so like that was like one of the best things, like just the general room parties. And then there was the day that Nick got Alien Isolation. And that was 8 of us in a room at nighttime in the dark playing Alien, well, while Nick played Alien Isolation, the rest of us sitting there, and it's like, man, the fucking air was as thick as butter. Everyone was like, "Was that the alien?" And I remember one of the guys just sitting on the bed being like, and when it like dropped down, he just went, "Fuck no!" And almost went out the fucking window. We're like, okay, Ollie's not allowed to sit near the window anymore. But like, you know, Alien Isolation was like a massive hit, which is a shame that they haven't really done anything much like it, considering how good that game was. I'm actually thinking of making you play it this year for Halloween.
Fair. I've never played it, so that would be interesting. Someone only mentioned that to me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Alien Isolation was great, but like literally, not even us playing it, but just like watching it, it was like holy shit. Especially when the aliens like going around and you're like, even when the alien's not there, sometimes it's even more terrifying than when the alien's there because you're like, where the fuck is it? Why isn't it here? Why can't I fucking see it? But yeah. That game is.
It was kind of like
that game was a masterpiece.
Kind of like when I was playing Dead Space 2 for the first time.
You know what? I'm going to come out and say it.
I expected all
Breath of the Wild. You know how people say Breath of the Wild was one of the best games ever made? Breath of the Wild could have learned from Alien Isolation.
Of course it could. It wasn't that great.
Fucking weapon durability.
It was an okay game at best, thanks to that fucking weapon durability.
You know what doesn't have weapon durability? You fucking wrench in Alien Isolation.
Oh. That's what you need.
That's what you need.
Exactly.
Not that it does anything against the alien. Nothing does anything against the alien.
Well, no, that's fair.
But, yeah, no.
Yeah. So. But no, I was playing Dead Space 2, and it's like every jump scare from the creatures, nothing. Not a single fucking thing happened. And because it was the thing, it was like, there's gonna be a jump scare here. Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
Thank you. It was a bit obvious with those ones. Then it's another one, it's like, there's gonna be a jump scare here. So you're waiting to see the creature jump out at you. And it's a fucking steam pipe.
Ah.
Holy shit, those steam pipes get you.
I think I've seen only one person not get jumped by Alien Isolation.
Okay.
Because it is really a masterpiece of a game.
Yeah.
Like, even like the like scripted parts are unexpected enough because like pretty much the second you start the game, it's high tension. So you know how some games you're like, oh, hang on, the tension's ramping up here, there's going to be a jump scare. Well, this thing's like the second you walk in, it's like high tension. And like, you can be sitting there going for yourself, it's not for like, I can't remember the exact time period, but I remember when I was playing, I'm like, I know I'm not coming against, I know the alien's not in this part.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, am I on edge? So yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, it is a masterpiece of the tension. Like, it to the point where when it first came out, I don't know how big into YouTube you were, but one of the big things was literally people wearing heartbeat monitors as they played it and putting that info on the screen.
I've seen some stuff with heartbeat monitors, but I don't think I've seen that one.
Because you would just watch it and like, yeah, like you were watching things where people weren't even, like the alien hadn't even been revealed yet. Like, sure, you know it's coming, it's called Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
But like, the alien hasn't been introduced, which means you can't run into it yet. But something would happen and their heartbeat would just go, and then you're like, that person is freaking out. And the alien's not even here yet. Because it's like, the game is that well done. And yeah, it's kind of a shame. It's one of those shames. It's, you know, like, speaking of shames, though, have you heard what's happening with Xbox at the moment?
No.
Well, they shut down the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, okay. No, I did briefly hear
and the studio that made Redfall.
Yeah.
Now, Redfall, disaster. And apparently people at the studio didn't even want to work on it.
Okay.
But, you know, that was disastrous. If you're going to say if a studio doesn't perform, it gets shut down, well, then that studio probably should have been shut down by that metric.
Yeah, of course it should have.
But Hi-Fi Rush was a massive success.
Yeah.
And that studio was also shut down. And everyone seems to be coming to the conclusion that it's because they bought Activision. And apparently spending $70 billion gets mom and dad a little bit mad at you. I say mom and dad, I obviously mean Microsoft. But, and so, like, literally, they've just been shutting down things in an apparent way to save money. Which is a shame because, like, you know, like, as I said, shutting down Arcane Austin, they were the ones that made Redfall, when, like, during the production, a lot of the people that actually wanted to make that game left, and the people that were left were sitting there going, we don't want to make this game, and this game's not going to go well. and it should have just been scrapped, and they should have just moved on to the next project.
Yeah.
But again, you know, as someone once said, when you're spending like $100 million on a game, you can't really scrap it because it's not good. Whereas if you were to spend $20 million and make 5 games with that same amount of money, you can scrap one of those games if it's not working.
Oh yeah,
because you've still got options.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Hi-Fi Rush, apparently they were trying to make it get on board to make a sequel.
Okay, yeah.
The game would have been really successful. Like, as far as you can go, Hi-Fi Rush was a great success, and it's a bit disappointing to see that get shut down.
Of course.
For the reason that can only be summed up as you have Activision now. So you have to shut down these smaller sleeper hits that are actually successful.
Yeah.
Because we have Call of Duty now.
It's
the most predatory franchise in gaming.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. But anyway, Alien Isolation, it's one of those weird ones where it's like, why haven't we seen another game that's similar to this?
It's true.
Why hasn't anyone been like, Alien Isolation was fucking amazing. Everyone was loving that game. In fact,
a lot of that type of game was coming out around that time, wasn't it?
Don't know. Couldn't really tell you. But I can tell you that none of them had the success of Alien Isolation.
Oh, no.
Although, again, I say that with like the looking back rose-tinted glasses kind of things of being like, oh, it was successful. But maybe it wasn't as successful as we think because, like...
possibly not.
Like, the crazy scary thing is, like, we're the old generation of gamers now.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, we hate the Fortnites and stuff, which are blow-away successes in terms of making money. And games like Alien Isolation, we're like, fuck yeah, that's a great game. But, like, maybe the kids are like, no, I don't like this whole thing where I don't get to shoot someone and do a stupid dance every 5 seconds.
You know critically a good,
Oh, critically
a good game. Was not a commercial success. Its publisher. Yeah.
So again, it was killed by...
Well, it was the thing of like, it had 9 out of 10 on Steam, 5.9 on IGN, 8.6 on IMDb.
So people who played it were really enjoying it.
Exactly. But outside of that...
people weren't buying
it. Yeah, people weren't.
The
suppose back
casual gamer wasn't.
I suppose back then a lot of people were paying a little bit more attention to critics. It was gaming. It's like, but nowadays it's like a critic says something. It's like, we don't really trust your opinion on these.
Yeah, true.
Anymore. So but we kind of just
judge where that came from, though, don't you?
I can't remember where, but
it came from like companies being like, "Oh, we're not going to give you a test game." Well, pretty much what happened is they said, "We're not going to give you a test game," and they went, "Okay." So they either wouldn't get a test game or they get a highly edited test game.
Yeah.
Kind of like what happened with Crash Team Racing. A lot of critics got that game and said, "This is a really good game, guys. There's this, and no microtransactions."
Yeah.
And then about 3-4 business days after the game came out, bam, microtransactions. And then people went, the critics said there weren't microtransactions and this was really fun. And there was, and you know, the gaming companies killed the trust in the critics by not giving them the material to critique before it came out. So, you know, they were waiting till the day it came out, then like rushing through really quickly to try and get out a critique within the first week of it.
Yeah, true.
But like, you know, sometimes in that first week it's too late to kind of put out anything that's going to help the consumer. And then the other one was they were giving them, so they were either not giving them good material, that they weren't giving them access to it to actually do their job, or they were giving them, I guess the only way to call it is like a critic version that would boost their score by removing all the shit that people hated, having the critics say good things about it, and then once it got out there and, you know, I guess a cynical person would say they hit enough sales, they went, okay, it's in enough hands now, add the stuff in. Or they were just going, wait 4 days, that's enough good press, okay, put the stuff in now. And then people going, well, the critics didn't say anything about any of this stuff. But here it is. And it's like,
yeah.
But it wasn't in the game when we played it, guys. And it's like, well, it's here now, and you didn't tell us about it. So,
yeah.
You know. And I guess the other problem then falls on the critics themselves for some of them just going, well, I've critiqued it now. I'm not going back and editing that critique.
Yeah, which is they really need.
I've got to move on to the next thing. When in reality, they should be going back and saying, look, in recent times, this is the score we gave it, but since then, this has happened, and now we've got to adjust that score.
Yeah. So I know I've seen a couple of things where it's. I used to use some people as like, or some channels, publishers, as a good way to critique games, and then all of a sudden they put someone onto a game, and it's like, do these guys even play games? Do they know anything about the gaming community?
That's another problem though.
Yeah.
There are people who don't play, like who get into it as like they're a journalism person, and it's like,
yeah,
it's okay to be a journalism person, but if you want to be a journalist on world events, you should have some interest in world events.
Exactly.
If you want to be a journalist on video games, you should probably have some interest in video games. Because there's nothing people hate more than a faker.
Yeah.
Someone who comes in and that's like, there was a few places that had that issue where they'd like bring in someone and that person was like, hey, I'm a gamer just like you, and then they'd say something and you're like, well, that's the biggest thing you could have said. That proves to us that you're not a gamer. In fact, that you don't even care about this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the problem is, there also comes this kind of mentality when, like, especially like when people in the media are like, but I'm not a gamer, and I kind of look down on gamers. And it's like, then the gamers won't support you.
Pretty much.
And because they're not supporting you,
your career's not going in.
Job.
Yes.
But yeah. The other big thing is, like, for me personally, I was just kind of like, there's critics that I listen to and I'll go and watch and see what they've got, mainly because I want to see the gameplay. Like, but at the end of the day, like, even if a critic comes and says, oh, this game isn't really worth it, like, one of my big ones is Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah.
A lot of critics are very much, no, Halo Infinite's not worth your time. But I'm like, are you kidding? As someone who played the original Halos, it's not those games, but God, is it so much better than the fucking Halo 4, Halo 5, COD wannabe Halos. I'm like, this actually feels like Halo.
Fair.
Not, rip off Titanfall, rip off COD Advanced Warfare Super Modern Space Edition. I'm like, this feels back like Halo.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the truth is, like, some days I'm like, as a critic, I sit there and I go, oh, well, you're not really getting it because, we just want this game like it was originally. It's like, unfortunately that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Because you can't just make a game for the one person that's going to play it.
Well, then, that's it.
And it's like, and as I stated earlier, we are now the older, well, not the oldest, because, you've got the 50, 60-year-olds who are playing video games well before us, but we're the older generation of gamers. The younger ones, they have no patience for this kind of stuff.
True.
Like,
they don't.
I know for a fact that right now on the big topics that we often talk about is always having to be online. Where it's like, why is that a thing that's necessary in all of these games?
Whereas
what
we're
if I
looking
just
back
want to
and
play
be
a
like,
single
where's the
player?
couch co-op? This is what... And there are still some games, but it's...
In about 5 years, people won't blink at the fact that you've always got to be online, because they'll be like, obviously, that's just games, man. And it's like... And people won't blink at the fact that even in serious games, there's got to be stupid dancing animations, because how else can you show that you're a fun and fancy person? And it's like, why is this here? Because that's just games, man. All games have crazy dances. It's like, no, there was a time when they didn't.
Yeah. It was actually, most games had none of it at all.
In fact, there was a time when it was like, the craziest thing was like, hey, have you seen this stupid skin for this horror game where you can get your person to dress up like a fucking Power Ranger? What does it do? Almost nothing. It looks stupid while the terrifying monsters kill you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
But you know, like I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it's like, I kind of hate Fortnite because of what it did to the gaming industry.
Oh.
Whereas like so much stuff is now, we've got to make some of Fortnite's money. It's like, you're not going to make Fortnite's money because they're already playing Fortnite.
Well, that's it.
But we're making
there's a lot of people who
Fortnite.
will not stop playing it.
Tell me about it.
God damn. Why is it so big? It's not even that good.
Because it caters to the short attention span.
I suppose, yeah.
Like, a game is no longer than 10 minutes if you're good at it. And if you're not good at it, well, then you're in and out within like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and then you can start a new game in 30 seconds. And it, as I said, it kind of fits to this thing where people just don't want to pay attention. But, you know, at the same time, you've also got the opposite argument, which is what video game developers have been trying to shove on us for God knows how long. But you guys don't want single-player campaigns. It's like, no. We want single-player campaigns. We don't want shit single-player campaigns.
Oh, yeah, there's a massive
difference.
Like
they were like, oh, shit, that's right, we're going to put a single-player campaign in here. Hey, you, intern, I know it's 4:30 on a Friday, but can you have this knocked up by 5? Thank you.
Pretty much.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it seems to always happen. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it does.
Because there's, like, we do want the stories. Actually, that's what I'm enjoying at the moment. Just story-based stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I like having the stupid fun that, like, when we sit down and play certain games, but...
Oh, yeah.
When I want to relax, I want to sit down and play.
You don't have to worry. Every time they come out, every time you've got an EA or Activision coming out soon. But that's not what the gamers want. There is a massive backlash when the next big game comes out and it's like, yeah, see the single player campaign, see how this is one of the best selling games of all time. It's like they hate Elden Ring and stuff like that. Because Elden Ring proves that, yes, people do want to play single player. It's like, oh, but Elden Ring has multiplayer aspects. It's like, sort of. Because
there's a lot of areas where you're forced to play single player. There is no multiplayer inside certain areas.
And then, so the big one for EA when they did all that was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah.
When they were like, no, you guys don't understand. You don't want single player games. Look, here's a single player game. It's gonna fail. And then it was like, oh, everyone loved it. Oh, shit, it's getting a sequel. Oh, shit.
Oh, no, we've eaten our words.
Guys, I need you to help me take my foot out of my mouth. But you know, that's how it is.
Of course it is.
But yeah, no, like the whole point was, before we went on this tangent, was that college life for me was just lads all together in a single room, just doing what we did.
Yeah, we did it.
Board games, video games, TV shows. It was just like any opportunity where it's like, hey lads, let's get together. Drinking, that was also a thing.
Yeah, we used to go to Nick's place for it a lot. Which is weird because he had the smallest room.
Yeah. But
everyone else had a bigger room, yet we always went there. Can't give an answer as to why, but we did.
To be fair, we don't really do that much anymore either. Like,
no, because we used to sit down and play.
We'll just fucking rock up to Jordan and be like, Jordan, let's watch this TV. Again, I guess there's no real reason to, because there's nothing really good.
There's nothing overly good at the moment to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
But it's
That's depressing.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, no, because we used to sit down and we do little tournaments with fucking Mortal Kombat. We used to screw John over with that one because I had some of those jelly beans, like the really bad flavored ones.
Yeah.
And it would basically be a thing. It's like, if you lose, you've got to eat one of those. But also, if you lose, you've got to keep playing. John couldn't win.
See, but that's kind of like the stuff that I want to do more often, is like...
Oh, of course, it was fun.
Like, I got the Switch, I got Mario Kart, I got, like, fucking all of those games, like, fucking...
Oh, you've got to only look at it when you, me, Jordan, and Caleb get together, have a couple of drinks, card games, we jump on some Mario.
Yeah, but we've got to get more people involved in that.
Oh, we do.
Because, like,
we know people who do want to get into it. It's just we've got to plan it more ahead further than we have been. Because generally a lot of those is like either the day before or the day of.
Yeah, but the thing is that we shouldn't have to worry about that shit. We should be able to say, like, literally 5 minutes before something's happening, hey, this is happening, you want to come? And be like, oh yeah, I guess so. Like, I know occasionally people are like, oh, sorry, I'm out of town. But, like, a lot of the other times, like, oh, no, you haven't given me enough warning. It's like, warning? You're a fucking adult. Adapt, survive, evolve.
Exactly. What are you doing now? So, I'm watching this TV show. Get your ass over here.
Although we've got to make some changes out there. Because, got to put the new TV in there.
Yes. Is that what we tried to do a while back?
No. That was... What did we do? Well, we used a different TV. Yeah. But I'll show you once the podcast is done.
Fair enough.
Pretty much, yeah, we got to do some
shuffling. Yeah, and that's it. But once that's done, like, yeah, 100%. I'm down for it.
But, like, you know, like, the whole thing is, like, I don't know.
Because we know Caleb, as long as he's not working a big case.
Yeah. Although, man,
he'll jump in.
I don't understand that. I'm someone who's like, I understand. I really do.
Yeah.
Some of these things, it's like, oh, but the job never sleeps. It's like, no, it doesn't. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to. Like, it's like I said to Jordan a million times. You shouldn't be working 6-day weeks because that's just not something that you should be doing. And he was like, oh yeah, but money. It's like, yeah, but no, it's back.
Yeah.
But you know, like, yeah, as I said a few times, I'm just like, I get it. I do. I really understand people being like, oh no, but money. And it's like, yeah, okay, but like,
yeah.
No. Sometimes I feel like I could slap Jordan across the back then and say, you don't need money if you didn't throw away fucking $200 to $300 every night.
Well, yeah.
Oh, but you know, no. Self-control. Bad boy.
Pretty much.
Fucking.
Yeah. But either way, like, we could get people in. But as I said, it's one of those things I feel like we would actually just have to plan it. It's very much like when we did the Halloween thing.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
but I'm
like, we don't have to go to that extent.
I'm not talking about that level of stuff. I'm not talking about
no.
I'm just talking about being like, hey guys, it's a Saturday evening. What the fuck are y'all doing? Oh, we're going to have a quiet night. Okay, excellent. Come around to my place and have a quiet night. Drinks. We got the TV set up. We got the fucking board games. We'll play some Mario Kart. Have some drinks. Maybe order some pizzas. Who fucking knows? I'm not your mother.
Yeah. But it's like, but what I mean by that is I'm not saying to the level of recording. And I'm not saying recording at all. I'm just saying we may have to plan. So, like, if we want Cam and Katie to come around, or Ma and Pa, if we want them to come around, we've kind of got to plan.
Not really. I just need to tell them the day before that they're coming around.
Okay, fair enough then.
I am their kryptonite.
True. Very true. And look, the other day they did say they want to do it more. So,
I said though, like to me the big thing is like, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, considering how often we see our friends, it doesn't feel like we actually hang out that often. It's like, I know we see each other, like I go out and see them every Friday, but then it's like, cool, Friday's done, won't see you guys until next Friday. There's a lot of the kind of interactions. It's like, why the fuck is that the case? It's like, oh, because, you know, oh, we're doing this with this group, and we're doing this with this group, and we're doing this with this group. And as I've said to a lot of people at things, oh, how was that thing you did with that group? Oh, yeah, it was kind of dull. It's like,
yeah.
Well, why the fuck do you keep planning to do stuff with them?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, have some fun. As I say to all of the people that we know, why the fuck do you constantly do things if you're not enjoying them? Oh, because you got to. No, you don't. Go have fun. Be happy.
Stop coming here.
Stop licking.
Come around here, play some board games.
Stop licking fucking toads, you wankers. What are you, monkeys at the zoo? No, humans. Although I guess one of the big things that annoys me the most is like, when you say to them, why are you doing this? And it's like, cause I can. It's like, you're adults, guys. This is some fucking teenage bullshit.
Yeah, that's a common one. That really is a common one.
It's like, why are we doing this again? It's always again. You know, I can take doing things for the first time.
Oh, of course.
But it's the 6th or 7th time I'm just like, I really, 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 really should have become a global terrorist. God, I'd wipe you all out. It would be great. And they're like, Darcy, that's a really dark thing to say. And it's like, yeah. But it's true.
Oh, man.
God. Yeah. You guys just made me wanna... What was that? Crashing into towers. God.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm losing my mind.
I've already lost it.
I had a theological... I find myself having theological arguments with myself.
Okay. Elaborate.
I don't like it. Well, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh, this is a stupid idea. And I was like, oh, hang on, no, it's not stupid. Like, I'll hear something on the news and I'm like, oh. Then I'll have the argument on both sides. And it's like, at the end of the day, I agree with what I originally stated.
Yeah.
But then I'm sitting there being like, oh, you know, it's not really that. And it's like, no, this is not an argument I should be having with myself. This is too deep. It's too deep. Why am I thinking too deeply about both sides of this argument? Why can't I just be irrationally angry?
Yes.
Why can't I be one of these people who's just like, you know what? I don't think we should have immigration because I don't like people who are foreign. But no, I'm like, well, you know, there's positives and negatives to both sides. And it's like, well, you've got to think about the good sides, you know? Bringing in more culture, bringing in other people. A lot of the time, helping people get back on their feet after. And then it's like on the other side, it's just like, yeah, but no houses. It's like, oh shit, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Why am I arguing both sides?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sitting there going, you know what?
That's my mind.
This is the insanity talking. Yeah. I'm having a theological argument with myself. No, but yeah, no, as I said, like, I'm finding myself having these theological arguments with myself more and more often. And, you know, like, you see the crazy person that's having a conversation with themselves and you go, that person's crazy. You see the person that's, like, debating the big topics by themselves and you're like, that person seems crazy. But they're making good points.
Yeah. I do it all the time at work. At night, if I'm working, I'm there by myself. It's like, it's not busy, I've just got stock to put away. It's that.
Yeah.
It's all I do. It's legitimately that. And then I'm standing there and I'll be like, if someone's in the next aisle, they 100% think I'm crazy. That's how it is.
But you just, you know, you're sitting there and you're going, oh, hold on just a second, wait a moment. I disagree with this wholeheartedly. However,
gotta give them their points.
You can't blame the people doing it for what they're doing. They don't know any better. That's actually one of my that's one of my good ones. Well, you know how, like, I've had this argument with a lot of people in the past couple of years. You know, like, normally when you fuck up, someone goes, it's not your fault, you don't know any better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have that excuse.
No, you don't.
Because I do something and people go like, oh, that's okay. And it's like, no, literally, I do know better. Trust me, I know better. You don't have to tell me. I'll fuck this one up.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to happen, and I saw it happening. And I just went, head down, eyes closed, can't lose. And now we're here. And I was like, yeah, but you couldn't see this happening. No, literally, this is the situation. This conversation, saw it happening.
Look, this was my risk assessment beforehand. It came into my head.
I'm actually reading off a script right now.
I wrote by myself before I did this. What?
Yeah. How did you know what we were going to say? I'm that far ahead of you. I knew the consequences before I acted.
It's fun being at that point.
It sucks. It really is the worst.
But it always ends... it always starts with 2 words. Oh, sorry. A sound in 2 words. Fuck it. Generally starts with that.
Or the classic, I think I got this.
Well, yeah, that's that too.
Like, nothing is better than when someone says, I think I got this, and you go, wait, what? Stop. No, you You told me when you were going to do this, you have this. Yeah, I think I got this. No, the thinking wasn't part of it. You said, I've got this. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I got this. No.
Stop adding that word.
No. You cheeky little dick waffle. You say it again, but say it properly this time. Okay. I'm relatively sure I've got this. No, that's not.
That's even worse than before.
What the fuck? People go, you're getting irrationally angry about nothing. It's like, I'm not irrationally angry. He said, I've got this. That's what he just said. No, he's now saying he thinks he's got this. This is a clusterfuck. I can't have this.
It's all it is. Yeah, no.
That's what I said when I started painting. I have started painting. I've started painting my stuff that I was talking to Kris about in the past.
Yes.
I started painting. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can do this. And guess what? I only painted half of my arm.
What the fuck?
I got a little bit carried away. No. Well, I've done it now, so
better keep going.
I wouldn't want it to be uneven. No.
Oh no, there's another side.
I went, I think I've got this. Ah, fuck. No, but yeah. I think that just about wraps us up. We've been going for long enough. We'll see how the video ends up. If those were only video pauses, that's fine. We still have the audio. It'll just be a little bit incoherent.
Well, yeah.
I could just fade it to black.
Well, it had moments where it just rushed to catch up.
Exactly. It's all there.
So maybe it'll all actually be fine.
Yeah. It'll work itself out.
We'll find out.
Maybe it won't. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to put in like a little bit saying like there was a really good point here. At this point, ninjas attacked. Who knows? But if you're watching this video and ninjas attacked, they actually did. I'm just really good at fighting them off.
Yeah.
But no, guys, thank you for joining us. If you have liked the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you haven't already, we really do appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for things you want to see me and Kris do, once again, as always, put them in the comments. We do read them. Mainly it's me, but Kris is also starting to get on board on that. Yeah. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos from the channel, more shorts. We are making a concerted effort to put more of those out. So, yes. Sometimes they're just from some funny parts from the videos we've been filming. Sometimes it's me and Kris in real life doing real life things, but we haven't really done that in a while, at least filmable. Yeah. And yeah, guys, until next time, I've been Darcy, that's Kris. Yeah. We hope you have enjoyed yourself and your short time with us, and we'll catch you next time here on the channel. Yeah. See you later.
See ya.
Okay, well that's not good.
What?
Can't breathe through that nostril.
Wait, it's normal for you to be able to breathe through both properly?
Why don't you just die already?
I don't even know what time. Wait, actually, I can tell you what time that I have been able to breathe through both.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, I was able to breathe through both once. I was put on oxygen for a little while. After that, I could breathe through both nostrils. Outside of that, no. It's only ever been one with the changes.
Just die already.
No. Just to spite you. And your sister for some reason. No.
We just don't like to see dying animals suffer.